It is 3:30 a.m. Wednesday, November 11th, 2015, and I'm awake because sometimes I am. I just commented on a vlog, and then I copied that comment onto the vlog that was a reply to that vlog with added commenting. I didn't spell check, I didn't grammar myself, and I know I messed up. I'm tired and... well, I'm not... yeah. But I was all fired up. It's because somebody spoke up on the great old debate about how NaNoWriMo is, bad because blah blah. Just a stupid argument saying that it creates bad habits. I think it boils down to an elitist kind of perspective. But basically, the reply video is... look what I'm doing. I'm showing you guys this. Oh, I'm showing too much, but it's, I'm sorry, I have to click out of your ad for this.
A video that I watched this morning.
Yeah, so this is Burgess Taylor. She said after watching his video, she was frustrated and thought it was important to tell the other side. So before I watched her video, I went over and clicked on his video, and it's not a new argument as far as I have heard this one. I'm on NaNoWriMo for 9 years. I've heard it forever. As soon as it became popular, people were like, no, real writers don't blah, 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 blah. If anything, the event has is become more and more popular every year. So take that, those who say it sucks. Does it put too much pressure on people? Yeah, but you don't have to do it. If you want to write, you'll write. The challenge is to prove if you've accomplished it, if you write those words in that month, or even half of those words in that month, you've shown yourself that you can do it regardless of your day-to-day things. That's the point of that. There are writers who write and don't need permission. They don't need the confidence. They don't need the time because they have the time or the resources or the self-esteem or the support or whatever. They just do it. And that's great. Kudos. But there's a whole bunch of people who, along the way from their childhood, when they were creative and creatively writing, or in their 20s or whatever, that eventually they hit a point where people were like, you're not published? You're not a writer. And even if you still felt like a writer, somehow it gets in your head, yeah, I'm not a writer. Or I don't have time. Or I don't deserve to give myself the space and time. I don't deserve to call myself that. I'm not a real writer. No, an event like this not only connects you to other people who have a passion for writing, but it can help you gain confidence. Last year, when I finally followed through and won by finishing 50K, you don't understand how much that impacted me. And that didn't mean that was the only month I wrote. I actually had a writing streak of writing every day for 184 days, a minimum of 750 words, often well over 1,000 words, every day for that streak before I hit my, not a burnout, but some snag in life that made me stop. I didn't stop writing completely. I ended up writing again, but just because one participates in this event does not make them not a writer. And just because one doesn't participate in the event doesn't make them a better writer than those who might participate. And that's what I have to say about that. And I'm glad that Taylor put in her own thoughts, even though I hope I didn't overwhelm her with my commented replies that aren't directly linked to her thoughts. I just had my own thoughts, and I wasn't going to make a vlog about it, but apparently I just did. I love you. Cappuccino. We ate chili tonight, shared it with JB, the neighbor, and it's 10. And then I had to sleep. Now I have my coffee and it's quarter to 10. It's quarter after 10, and I just started to watch some videos.
And she
Shout out, Fontanez.
she made a comment on my video. The video response about NaNoWriMo. Thought it was.
Thanks. So I just saw that. I haven't started my words yet. I've got the date down. Yeah, don't have a lot of time tonight, so many of these tabs will have to just go into the watch later list, which has something like over 3,000 videos now. There's just no way. But I'm sorry about that. I love your outfit, by the way, and I'm short too. But I'm not in good shape. But I'm gonna continue watching your video because I'm really curious. Yeah, this is procrastination at its finest. It's 11:15 p.m. on the 11th of November, and I've passed 750 words, so that's actually gonna be X when I save, and I've got a now 42-day streak again. It doesn't show it yet because I am not done for the day, but it notified me that I'd reached the words, so I'm near 800 words. And I want to keep going because I want to get my 1667 in. But it's rather late. It's later than it usually is. It's later than you think. And I'm listening to some music. So it's 11:59. And I have reached my word goal. 1955. So what does it say? Yeah, because it was just before midnight, I reached my goal. Okay, guys, I did it. I was wondering how I do because it was one of those days where, oh, yay. I was buddy. Sure. I have to see what's going. Oh, so young. I feel a little weird now that I'm so old, adding people that are so young, but whatever. It's a writing thing. So I've got to do the editing thing still, guys, which if you've been watching my videos, you're used to this. But what we're going to do is get that star in, because 19555 is a good number. Look at that, it's now midnight. 19555. 19. Hi. And that's without putting a title in. I haven't come up with a title for the post yet. So I got the post posted, but the Remembrance Day ceremonies are beautiful. I saw a thumbs down on my video, and I thought, I hope people don't think I'm completely disrespectful about those who serve. I'm of the mind support the troops. I'm not a supporter of wars propagated for the profit of those who not only do not have to send their own children to war because their children are living privileged lives, but who profit from the devastation of other people. And I don't like to talk about it. We all have our points of view. I'm not some hippie thing going, oh, let's all just love each other. I realize it's not as easy as that. But I prefer that the big people who make the big decisions that affect so many lives would put a bit more care into what it does to not only the people whose places we bomb the crap out of, but to the lives of the people who come home. PTSD is a very real thing. Families don't get talked about that have people coming home that aren't they're changed, not just physically but mentally, and we don't talk about that. And we've had a veterans issue for so many decades. Vietnam being one of the biggest ones. Korea wasn't even recognized. And then it's like we had the Great Wars and we decided to see this why. If I'm getting thumbs down, please just understand I do not have a hate on for people who serve. I have a disdain for leaders who anyway, look at my count. So the goal was 18,333 today. I got 19,555. So whatever that buffer is, bam! Tomorrow's the 20,000. I was on a rant about supporting troops, not supporting war, about how it shouldn't be bad to be against war. In fact, that's kind of ridiculous that somebody would think that's such a terrible stance to take. And I even went on a ramble about how my first love had served in the first Gulf, which is considerably different than this ongoing time around. But and that wasn't technically the first Gulf. The battle for over that land has gone on for infinity, it feels like. But I was going on a rant and ramble, and then I decided, you know what? I just look what I did today. I did this in the evening. I wrote my words. That's what matters today. I checked off the Veterans Day, which is Remembrance Day here. We have beautiful ceremonies in Canada as well. We served. We have people that served. I have a book recommendation. I read this years ago, but it is so beautiful for those who like to read letters. But if you also want to read what it... Oh, here. You know, I am quite a... Oh, and of course, the first that's... Anyway. Yeah, my first love was served. So there's a lot of... I'm a mixture of... I grew up with the pride of having families that served, and my father's experiences and what he grew up being told and stuff, and my curiosity about history. And I also have this great disdain for the manipulation of people's hearts and minds to profit corporations at the expense of people's lives, and making people seem like they're not human, and also treating people who come back from those wars like they aren't as well when they're no longer of service. So yeah, I recommend this though. Books like this are beautiful. They break your heart, and they also like make you feel something. And I also recommend, well, always read the poets, but this is something that I want to hide the name, but I received a message from somebody who added me. I was like, oh, she's so young, but then I thought, wow, you know, that's amazing. Thank you for sending this message, and you are wonderful to have sent this to me, because I just noticed it now. I finished my words. It's just after midnight, and haven't even done my editing yet. And thank you, because I was focusing on the thumbs down I got the other day. On the last vlog, I got a thumbs down, and I think I got a thumbs down a few days ago as well. And I was thinking, what is somebody thumbs downing about? I mean, what are they thumbs downing for? Not that you can't. You can if you want, but like, why? What's the point? Just don't watch or don't like. But to get something so positive, I mean, wow. Good for you for writing, and to write 14,000 words, amazing. And I'm gonna check your word count just to see if that's where you're starting out, or... Oh my gosh, you're way up there. You're at 33,000 words. Good for you. Good. That's amazing. Location Wonderland. I've been there. Oh my goodness. Oh, a fan of Stephen King. Good writer to enjoy. Netflix. Oh, I miss Netflix. I think I mentioned in my post that I wrote today that I haven't watched Netflix since last month. But thank you again for your message. I'm glad it inspired you, because yeah, we all have bad days, and sometimes you got to write anyway. This month is great because we push ourselves beyond our usual limits. I was ranting and rambling about the writing thing, the NaNoWriMo argument, the argument about how NaNoWriMo isn't good for writers, or for those who think they want to be writers but only write NaNoWriMo, or the pressure of writing 50K in a month is just so stupid, and it doesn't make you a writer, and all this stuff, okay? Sometimes people need the push. They need the push. Sometimes people need the permission. They need to... Not everybody's got a freaking ego the size of whatever. Some of us need the, hey, it's okay. You're allowed to write. It's okay. You have permission to write. You can write. Go for it. Show us what you got. Do it. Just go ahead and write today. Take that time for you to write. You know what? Decide, even if it's for this month, that writing is important enough to you that you're not going to watch Netflix or TV series. You're not going to keep up with them. Maybe you're going to let some time that you usually would spend looking at Instagram, Twitter, blah, blah, blah. You're going to let some of that slack. You're going to put your focus on writing. You're just going to do it because you feel that story inside you. You want to work toward, maybe you can't write it yet, but this is part of the process of getting that story done, is writing what needs to come out first, what needs to get out first. And maybe some of it is just the actual practice of writing every day. It's the permission to write. That is the idea of NaNoWriMo. It's not National Novel Writing Month. You're going to become a world-selling, best-publishing author. If you do this challenge, you are automatically a writer that will be respected by your peers the world over, and you'll have a book on a shelf around here. Although there are people who have written NaNoWriMo novels that have become published authors. But you know what I'm saying? That's not what it's saying. It's saying, here, take this month, become a writer. There's a bunch of other people giving it a try. They're all different levels of writing. You can write whatever type of thing you want to write. Just go for it. Give yourself permission. Treat yourself. Indulge a little with it. Have a piece of chocolate. Drink a lot of coffee. I don't know. Get together with some other people who like writing. Where was this when I was a kid? Do you know how much further along I'd be in my writing if something like this had existed when I was a kid? Or if I'd kept that, if that sort of message was out, that it's okay to want to do that. That it's okay. You know, for many of us, we've been told, you're a writer if you've published a big novel by the age of. You're a writer if you are being paid to write by the age of, and or you're doing it now and you've achieved notoriety. You're a writer if. No. You're a writer if you write. Now, if you're writing this month and this month only, okay. If you're writing this month and then you're chopping down your words to half of it or less, but you're continuing to write, okay. If you're writing this month and then you're editing the book, awesome. If you're writing this month, you decide, there's nothing I want to use for a book, but you have the habit in there and you're going to continue writing, good for you. If you're writing this month, you take a break for a couple months because you're burnt out. You know what? It's not just about the writing. It's about all the energy you've put into it. And it's about all the other things going on in your life. That's okay too. Why are we trying to put rules on it? Just let people write. That's what this is about. Permission to write. Setting the time. Seeing what you can do. For me, I know from my practice with 750words.com that I can sometimes write that 750 words in 30 minutes. 30 minutes of my day. We all know that's like one TV show. That's less than a Netflix movie. That's less time than many of us spend watching various YouTube videos. 30 minutes. 30 minutes. And sometimes when I'm really feeling it, I'll surpass 1,000. I'll surpass 2,000 words. I was doing that in October. Don't assume that just because somebody's active in NaNoWriMo or inspired by NaNoWriMo, that means that they're not writing the rest of the time. Also, if you are overwhelmed by the 50K number, or you're overwhelmed or you get behind and you decide, oh, I'm not a writer, I can't do this. Clearly I'm not a writer because I couldn't do this in November. No, don't worry about it. I was signed up to the site, NaNoWriMo, for like, I don't know, 9 years now. I won last year. Last year's when I followed through. One of the previous years, a few years ago, I reached over 10K. It's not recorded on the site, but it's in my my site, and it was more of a prosaic kind of draft. I've not gone back to it, but I'd like to. I think there's some special stuff there. I mean, that was progress for me. This can do wonders for those of us who've always loved to write. We're writing when we were younger. Had stuff happen along the way that said, no, you can't write. And all of us kept that confidence that we can create, just like many people don't draw or paint or color like they did when they were kids, or have the bravery to climb trees. I miss climbing trees and rooftops. I mean, I'm not going to go out there and do it now in my shape, but you know, one thing I can do, I can write. Am I a writer? Well, I don't have a book on a shelf. But how do you get a book on a shelf? You start by getting your words on the screen. That's how you do it. If you're meant to write a book that gets published, you'll get there. How do you get there? By starting to write. If you need to write in November because it's NaNoWriMo and it's some popular contest where, yeah, they have posters and you get to print out this certificate of completion that says winner, and you get to look at it and feel like a winner, even though it doesn't make you any less of a winner any rest of the year. Just enjoy it. Enjoy it. Right. Write. However you want to write. Just write. Look at all these worlds. Worlds of books. People writing.